Hey, good morning everybody. Thank you for stopping in. I know it's been a minute, but we're going to try and get back on track with the content. We finished up the LS swap Yukon, so we're going to take it for a ride and I'll show you what's all done to it and kind of go over everything. You can see it's running good, nice and quiet. The temp gauge is maxed out. It does say check gauges. So I originally tried to use the factory OBS sensor with the ICT billet adapter. I got the medium one, you're supposed to get the long one. The sensor was too long, it bottomed out and actually squished the sensor. So I think that's why it's messed up now, because I did take it and get it machined. I'll show you that real quick. And I might do another video on it, I'm not sure, we'll see. So I think the sensor itself is just damaged. I had it machined to fit the LS head. I've heard that's the best way to get it to work, but this sensor I believe is messed up, like I've said 20 times now. So we'll try it again with the other sensor, but I do have this guy plugged in. This is a great app. It's like $5 or something. A little $20 OBD2 thing. Let it hook to the phone. Real-time info. So you can see here, coolant temp. Get out of the way. So it's actually because the LS computer reads the coolant temp. So anything over the data wire, this OBD2 thing will read. No check engine lights. Everything is hooked up. A lot of people think that in the 98 ILS swap, they're like, oh, it's great, there's no check engine light, but I know you just didn't hook it up. Well, I absolutely did hook it up. Everything works accordingly. We'll leave this plugged in while we're driving. We can make sure it's not overheating. I've already driven a couple times, but we'll go somewhere and I'll show you everything. This thing is so smooth, it's ridiculous. Just as a 2005 5.3, I converted it to drive-by cable. It was a drive-by wire. It is a pain in the ass to do that to the harness. I would not recommend doing it. I don't even want to go over like how to do it because it was such a pain. It took me several tries and so much research. Yeah, anyway, moving on. And I cannot seem to get the tow haul work. This is a shift lever out of a 2000, it's out of my 2002 actually. I cannot figure out how to get this thing to work. If you look at the LT1 Swaps website, it's just a temporary ground to one pin on the ECM. However, whenever I do it, it just doesn't seem like it does anything. Obviously there's no light on this dash for it to work. Maybe it's too strong. I don't know. I'll have to do maybe a little more research. But if I ever figure out how to get that to work, I'll share it. And real quick, I'm gonna see if the cruise control works. It worked on my 98, so let's see. I feel like it's working. Accelerate. Yeah, hell yeah, the bulb just must be burned out. Dude, right on. So I've been driving it around and has not got above like the 194, 195 mark. I don't hear the fans on, but open the hood, we'll see. So it's got a couple things. It has like a dent back here. Someone opened it up and hit something. This is a little chip. This thing is in pretty damn good shape. It's a 99. Got all my parts from the Duramax. I swapped over from the light gray to the dark gray, so they're being stored back here for the meantime. But this was a 2-door. I would 100% be keeping it, but don't really have a need for this, so we're getting rid of it. It's for sale. Little things. Person had a small dog that chewed on that. That's an easy fix. Came factory with the ambient temp. Has rear AC, not rear heat. I guess rear heat was an option for these. Drive around a little more and we'll take it back home. 4-wheel drive functions perfectly. Let's see, about 4 low. All right. Oh yeah. High, back to 2 high. I don't know if you need to back up or not, but I always do. Has a stock exhaust still, but it seems to run perfectly fine. I use the factory flange, that way whoever buys this, if they want to put an exhaust kit on it, it'll bolt right up the way it should from the factory. And runs pretty good. It definitely needs shocks and stuff, and steering. It's just old. It's a 99, 200, almost 202,000 miles. But the 5.3 is immaculate. I took it apart. I started taking it apart and it was in good shape, so I put new pistons, rings, and rod bearings. Didn't take the crank out. She runs good, just buttery smooth. Had the heads decked and gone through at a machine shop. Cleaned up, you know, the top end and all that. New gaskets and everything. It's just a good running family car. Question that I get asked quite a bit, and there seems to be a little bit of confusion about it, is who tunes my stuff. So there's 2 different people that tune it, for my swaps and just for, you know, little stuff, or to add electric fans or delete VATs, whatever it is. I use Bauer Performance. I have had no issue with them. Actually, this is tuned by him. The 90 I had was, and my mom's 2001 Tahoe are all tuned by him, and they run great. No issues at all. It's only 55 bucks. Turnaround is right around a week for me anyway, both or all 3 times. Sent them out on a Friday, got them back the following Friday. For my black truck, I take that one to a dyno tuner local to me. There's just a lot going on with that. For heavily modified engines, you really need an in-person tune. And then there was a couple videos back I was talking about how I wasn't happy with the first tune, so I'm going to a different tune. None of that had anything to do with Bauer Performance. Bauer has never tuned that black truck. That was a local shop to me that I wasn't happy with, so I'm going to another one. So once we get the turbo 6-liter done, we'll be going to the new shop, and I'll show you guys that, record a little bit, but that's a little bit ways away. Right now we're just getting this to work. I know I've gone over all of this. Tack signal, if you use a 411 ECM, all of this is pretty much plug and play. I mean, it's easier than like the drive-by-wire, the 03 through 06 ones. I've been helping a friend try and get his all worked out. Takes a little more work. This is a lot more simple. The LS computer gives out a tack, which is strong enough to run this gauge. Same with the, actually I don't know if that's from, actually it is from the LS computer. He programs that. Oil pressure, that's just your factory one, just adapt it somehow. If you have the single wire, you can use the 99 through 02 oil pressure sender. Plugs right into the block because it was made for that block, and then it has the same plug as this engine, so that's good. Temp gauge, like I said, I think I'll go over that I think I'll go over that in a different video. My previous one, I used the LS3 wire, LS1 3-wire. It reads about 10 or 15 degrees cool, but I mean, at least it works. You have the wire for the alternator, factory plug. Fuel gauge, you can have a person in tune. Oh my goodness, tune it in person. The output for the gauge is kind of hard to guess. So I just went ahead and bought the fuel link. I think it's the SN34 or something like that, and you can program it yourself so that it works. And that's pretty much it. And cruise control is the factory 99 cruise control that came out of this truck. You just need the cable out of the 99 through 02 trucks, and then you are set. So I do have this guy. I'll probably throw that in there just to update the interior a little bit. Got some Bluetooth going on. That's about it. But comment down below. Tell me what you think about the LS swap. If there's anything you want me to go over. If you got any questions, feel free to comment. I'll do my best to help out. Thanks for stopping in and watching. See you guys next time.